What are your predictions for what will happen in My Hero Academia 2022? Uraraka dies, something big again. Now, if Ochaco dies, one, it'll be the saddest thing in the entire story of My Hero Academia. But more importantly than that, it'll probably be the most beautiful thing that'll happen in My Hero Academia, being that Ochaco has a silent, intimate relationship with Deku, or she likes him, and she hasn't yet confessed her love for Deku, so it'll be kind of sad if she dies before she can do that, or if she dies while doing that. So Shigaraki, you better take your hands off Ochaco's face. Shinso will join 1B. Now, in this point in My Hero Academia, classes are not really that important, but they are at the exact same time. Like, they're important when it comes to putting groups together so that we can easily identify each group, like Class 1A members and Class 1B members. But as far as the academic side of having classes, there is no need for them because there is no such thing as UA classes, which is actually quite interesting because characters from Ketsubutu Academy like Yoshindo, Tatami, and Mr. Smith are 100% confirmed to be Class 3A students, where in the beginning of the series they were Class 2A students, indicating that Ketsubutu Academy actually graduated them to their 3A, and for some reason UA didn't. I don't, but it's okay. Long story short, Shinso joining Class 1A or 1B probably isn't going to be a literal thing like when it comes to schooling, and more likely he'll just join one of the two groups and just be considered a part of that group. And also, being that the UA Trader is a thing, I don't think he's going to be joining Class 1B. All Might needs to die. Okay, scratch what I said earlier about Ochaco's death being the saddest one in the series. All Might's death will probably be the saddest death in the entire story of My Hero Academia, bar none. Mainly because the build-up for All Might dying is quite literally 300 chapters in. And also, if you consider the fact that All Might currently in the story is making it an emphasis that he would rather die to protect Deku, I 100% think that All Might will die at the end of 2021. And you know what? I'm gonna cry on this table. This user says some crazy and I agree. Poop is crazy. Bakugo gets his quirk stolen to bring his arc full circle. Endeavor dies to save Shoto. Wait a minute, there's a lot to uncover right there. I don't know if Bakugo getting his quirk taken is going to bring anything full circle. Mainly because there's no real gripe between Deku and Bakugo already learned his lessons, so him getting his quirk stolen won't make him learn more of a lesson that he already knows. So this is probably not going to happen in 2022 and probably ever. But I am an advocate for Endeavor dying. I just don't know if I believe that Endeavor is going to die saving Shoto, and it'll be even more amazing in my opinion if he dies trying to save Dabi. But let me not get into my bag right now and just say I believe that would happen in 2022. Midoriya will lose an arm and get One for All and All for One to combine. Now this is something that I also do not agree with at all. The arm situation is very much possible because of the connection between Luke Skywalker and Deku. But if I'm going to be as honest as I can, I definitely don't believe that Deku is going to be the person that carries One for All and All for One. Mainly because All for One quite literally is a quirk that cannot be stolen or given. The only way that Deku can get All for One is the same way that Shigaraki got All for One, which is that All for One or Dr. Ochaco would have to do a biological transfer to Deku using a copy of his quirk. So Deku would need to go to Central Hospital, have a transplant of quirks of some sort, and then he will be able to get All for One. Now I guess you can also say that because All for One and Shigaraki are two separate things and they also have the exact same quirk, Shigaraki could use his All for One to steal All for One from All for One and give it to Deku? But that doesn't sound right, nor does it sound possible because his own consciousness is there. So listen, all right, we're not gonna do it. If anything, the opposite would be more true, where Deku gives One for All to Shigaraki because that's the only way that they can both join, if Deku gives his quirk to Shigaraki. But the real question is that gonna happen in 2022? And I don't really know if that's going to happen, but you all let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. That somehow the story will get stretched into 2023. Now honestly, I don't know how this ties to the original question of what are your predictions for 2022, because this is not an actual prediction for 2022 because it's a prediction for 2023. But because you have to get to 2022 to get to 2023, I'll accept it. And I actually believe that it's very much possible that Horikoshi does stretch it out just a little bit long so that it ends in 2023. Nonetheless, it still doesn't meet the criteria. And this subscriber says maybe a plot twist that we weren't expecting in the manga. And although that is possible, we have to ask the question, what plot twist could possibly happen? And I have an interesting one that I want to bring to y'all attention, which is actually you subscribing to Herovation for the best My Hero Academia content in the world. By the way, if you want to collect My Hero Academia mangas, check out my Amazon shop store where you can purchase every single volume of My Hero Academia and I get a small commission for your purchase. The link will be in the description and also in the pinned comment. The only thing I want to see is Mineta getting an internet breaking glow up. I don't care what happens after that as long as he gets a glow up. And listen, I would be inclined to agree with you if Mineta wasn't already the bomb. Like, look at him. Do you not see this Chad? Do you not see the muscles on top of the muscles on top of the muscles that's on this Chad? And let's not forget those round circular purple balls that's on his head. Even a weak and trash peasant like All Might couldn't even look in the direction of Mineta. And I think you're missing a huge point in your statement. You want Mineta to have an internet breaking glow up, not understanding that Mineta is the internet. You're watching me through Mineta right now. So you, Mr. Annie Mayhem, know your place. I think Deku will somehow be able to fully control One For All like All Might had without breaking his bones. Now this is a more tamed idea as to what is going to happen in 2022. If we do see Deku with a 100% One For All, it's more likely that he will have it mastered and he will be able to use it without having any repercussions. However, there has to be a huge caveat because we don't know if Deku is going to be able to master his quirk. I mean, right now he has a long way to go to mastering his quirk and he hasn't even unlocked the second user's quirk just yet. So although I think that this is the most likely that will happen, I don't know if it is the most likely at the exact same time because we don't know when he will learn his last quirk and thus when he will be able to master his quirk. Good prediction though. I think Bakugo will make a conscious decision to make a sacrifice for someone. His last sacrifice for Deku was involuntary and that's where Deku started. Now when you say sacrifice, what do you mean by that? Because I 100% believe that Bakugo will put himself on the line to fight against somebody else, but the word sacrifice is a very specific word. The characters that I believe Bakugo would actually sacrifice his life for would be All Might and Deku. You can also add in Shoto because whether Bakugo likes it or not, they're best friends. But the reality of the situation is if you're going that route and saying that Bakugo is going to sacrifice himself for Deku or All Might, then I agree that that could happen in 2022, but not at the expense of his life. Aoyama dying at the hands of either Shigaraki or most likely All For One sounds unnecessary, but it's sure to set off Deku. Y'all for some reason just want everybody to die. Why? Why do y'all? What is wrong with y'all? But I can't lie, I think that this is gonna happen too. Now as to who would kill Aoyama, it would easily be All For One because Shigaraki doesn't have any type of ties to Aoyama, so there's no reason for him to try to kill him. But I do believe that in 2022, in this final war, Aoyama is 100% or at least 98.7% going to die. I mean, he kind of said that he wanted to die, and I understand that that's because he was so sad and depressed about his actions, so it's not necessarily that he wants to just die, but still, it's there. But more than anything, I want to see All For One just kill Aoyama and not Aoyama sacrificing himself for Deku. And not because I'm a horrible person, but more so because this is something that would fit into the mindset or the personality type of All For One. Plus there's so many other characters who can sacrifice themselves, and the whole sacrificial element in the storytelling is getting overblown if everyone does it. Deku says, I am here. It's gotta happen. And I agree 100,000,000%. My Hero Academia cannot end without Deku saying I am here to the world. But again, we have to ask the question, how will he say I am here? Because in the final war, he can't just say I am here, he would have to defeat Shigaraki. And not only would he have to defeat Shigaraki, but it would have to be spread throughout the entire world that this man is the new symbol of hope. So he would have to say I am here in front of a large area of people, but more importantly than anyone, he has to say it in front of All Might before All Might dies. And not because of anything other than the fact that All Might says he wants Deku to say I am here before he dies. So the I am here moment is going to be the most iconic and the best moment in the entire story of My Hero Academia, but it'll also be the saddest moment because more likely than not, it'll be when All Might is dead or while he's dying. And oh my gosh, again, I'm gonna cry up here. I'm going to cry up here, guys. I'm going to. If you want me to cry, don't want me to cry, all right? Be better. Shirakumo will come back. Yes, no, sorry, bro. Imagine this. 1A for all. Or you're barking right up the tree that I don't even want to walk near. Mainly because if Deku can give his quirk to members in Class A and they would all use one for all to fight against Shigaraki and their respective opponents, they would easily clap everybody in the world. And not soon after, they themselves will get clapped by their own power, resulting in not only the death of villains because they're going to get punched by 100% one for all smashes, but the death of 20 students because Deku wanted to do something that he knew would kill his classmates. And to what end does that come when Deku's the only one who can live? He's gonna fall into a depression and then he's gonna start drinking orange juice with pulp, or better yet, he's gonna be so depressed that he's gonna literally get a bag of Tyson's chicken nuggets from Walmart or Costco or Sam's Club, go all the way home and cook it in his air fryer just to throw it away. Like, this man's the mad. You just want the worst for Deku, and I see the games you're playing, you're not gonna slide. It's over. Midoriya's dad will come home with milk. He better come with 2 cartons of almond milk because that 100% one for all Detroit, Delaware smash is coming straight to his face. Almost as fast as this video coming straight to your face, which you should watch right now. Wing his own every single